the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anybody have any questions about the minutes?
I guess I have one comment about the minutes. The minutes from April 29th contained an error with the rate of pay, the hourly rate of pay. For everybody who was working in the summer, it was listed as $46.78. What I'm requesting is that we just change the minutes, because it was approximately 40 different places that it was incorrect. So I'm just suggesting, it was listed as 47.48, which is the rate that does not go into effect until January 2015. The correct rate should have been 46.78. So what we're suggesting is to modify the minutes for your approval, and the 40 individuals that were affected will be notified separately that the agenda was incorrect.
Did we do that now?
No, we'll just
wait until...
You'll approve the minutes next week, and then it will be proper.
Recognition?
Well, this is the big meeting, the Teacher of the Year and ESP of the Year, which is ESP is a paraprofessional at high school center. Just one correction, Jody Rosenblum, it's not pronounced, spelled correctly the first one, Harvard School. I sent your office the correct spelling.
Don't we usually have that meeting?
Yes, that is. It's in the auditorium next week. Our next meeting will be it's sometime.
Superintendent's report, progress of control.
Usually when we want that.
So there will not be any at that meeting. For those of you who did not hear, that meeting is over at the high school. That's the large recognition meeting.
The only thing we will be adding to recognition because it's timely and we can put it towards progress towards goal, because it was one of our goals, was that we will be acknowledging the 3 schools that were named National Schools of Character, Voorhees, McDivitt, and Cheesequake was also named as a National Model School of Character, which is the highest recognition of National School of Character, and the principal, the guidance counselor, and Dr. Booker go to Washington, D.C. Speak there before Arnie Duncan, and the Commissioner of Education, Pesky, will also be going, particularly because New Jersey will be representing the school from New Jersey, that's a national school, so he's going as well, and we received approval waiver from county superintendent because of the short time turnaround.
Correspondence, committee reports, anybody reporting out? No? Okay. Well, to hear any residents this evening, is there anybody that's sitting here that would like to speak on behalf of any of the items on the agenda? Is that a yes?
Yes, I didn't know if anybody else was here. I just, thank you for correcting Jody Rosenblum. Was that corrected for her certificate too, do you know?
I don't think the certificate was wrong.
Okay.
Just the,
Okay, so that's one. I just had a question on non-certificated personnel, page 11, number 11. Number 8 and 11 speak to long-term substitute secretaries, but number 11 speaks to it as a LTS instead of a permanent position. I didn't know if it'd be a permanent position through June 30th and then the person would be reappointed.
Jenny Rosenblum. Yeah, that would be a permanent position.
Okay.
Number 11.
And then just on non-certificated personnel transportation, page 29. The association didn't receive any correspondence on any non-renewals or RIF from transportation. We usually are copied on them, so I was informed that there was somebody who received some sort of correspondence about rehire. So I just need a copy of that. I don't know if it was Denise or,
Okay.
that's it for me. Thank you.
Mrs. Council, do you want to discuss policy at this time?
We haven't had a meeting yet. In fact, this department did tonight, have to discuss when he's available.
Athletics, there's quite a few of them.
Again, these are placeholders as the agenda comes closer or the real agenda comes to you. Position hasn't been filled, will be taken away. And it's the same person filling the position, and replacing that position.
We received many of the recommendations on today. Many of them will be added to the actual.
Curriculum, anyone? Ms. Quigley, is there anything you'd like to add? No? Okay. And there is a curriculum meeting next week.
Monday night.
Curriculum, anyone? No? Okay, then we're for finance.
So Donna, before you leave, since we have a meeting Monday night, probably Tuesday we'll discuss the curriculum. Whatever we're on Monday.
Okay.
That's important.
Right, okay. All right, finance, we need a motion to approve the bill list.
Barbie will move.
Thank you, Ms. Mongan, do I have a second?
Dunn will second the clause.
Thank you. Mr. Merrill, roll call. Kathy, discussion. Mr. Merrill.
DeBrino? Yes. Dunn?
Yes.
Hoffman?
Yes.
London?
Yes.
Singh?
Yes.
Solikowski?
Yes.
Andriani? I don't know what this is.
Okay, thank you. Now, do you have any comments about this?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay, item number 9 under finance, which is the resolution to, first of all, there's 2 corrections in that particular item. On the third, whereas it's listed as $565,000, that should be $704,596. And in section 1, further down the page, after now therefore, it should also be listed as $704,596. Now here's the issue with this resolution. This project is an SBA grant project, where the district will be getting back 40% of the cost of the project. However, we need to award the bid at the next meeting for this project prior to actually signing off on all the documents for the grant agreement. So there is a risk, and I believe there's a risk, I don't know for sure, that because we're awarding the bid prior to the actual grant being approved, that they could reject us for the grant because we haven't signed off on the grant documents. Now, the reason why we have not signed off on the grant documents, now you gave me the authority to sign off on the grant documents at the last meeting, because we're doing a lease purchase. Because we're doing a lease purchase, we have to make another application to the state, which will probably take us into the third week of June before we get a document back from them authorizing us to do a lease purchase. And then that has to be part of the documents that are submitted to the grant. So we're kind of in a rough spot here. We need to award the project to a contractor so that it's a big project, it's a roof project in Sandburg, so that they can start working as soon as school is over. And we can't fill out the documents and submit them to the SBA until the lease purchase documents are back from the state. So since we are in a position where, in the worst case scenario, we lose the grant, we have the capital reserve to cover the total cost of this project, and also we're financing the project over 5 years. We also have the benefit that the project cost was estimated to be $704,000, which is listed here. The bids that we received in the last 2 days, which are under review now, range from $409,000 to $670,000. And we have a second bid that's $425,000. So the bids came in really, really good for us. We can fund this entire project out of the lease finance and never have to ever touch capital reserve. So it's my recommendation that we move forward and approve this and move forward with the lease purchase, and then we'll just take our chances. If we lose the financing through the SBA, which I don't think we will, but it's a possibility. I don't know how high the probability is. We'll just take that risk.
So we would lose the 40%
Yes.
of the bid cost.
Yes, or whatever the project cost is. Whatever the total cost for the project is, that's what the 565 is. What, since the bid came in the lowest bid came in so low, and we're evaluating it to make sure that everything is okay in terms of what the materials are that are included. With SBA grants, we're about to go 20% beyond what the actual bid is to do other modifications to the roof, which is what we intend to do because the roof install is a major problem. So we're going to do the financing for $565,000, which will be the original project plus 20% more, and see where it goes. But in either case, we'll be financing through a lease purchase, so we won't have to take money out of capital reserve, and we still make it 40%.
I just got, sorry.
No,
I just got lost. I thought you said the lowest bid was 409.
That's just for the construction costs.
Now you just said 565.
We can go, with the SDA grant, we can go 20%
Over the 409.
over the 409 or the 425.
80,000.
Yes, so that'll bring us to 500,000. Then with the lease finance, there are costs associated with the lease finance, documentation, and also the architectural fees, which will bring it to approximately 5 to 65.
And if we lose the grant, we're still $50,000, 40% cost.
Yes. If we don't get moving on the roof will not be done for September 1st. That's the dilemma. And the roof needs to be calendar is our enemy, and at the end of the day, we originally budgeted to do this out of capital reserve. So I think we made that decision as a board to do it out of capital reserve in an attempt to try to not deplete the capital reserve. We talked about doing the lease finance, so that's why
we're losing the grant money or possibly losing it, because we did get like a couple $100,000 extra in state aid that we didn't know about, and I just hate losing.
Yeah.
Isn't there any way we can call someone? No.
Nope. I've already went down this road with Lisa Gore, bond counsel, and there's just no other way to do it.
So
Most districts find themselves in this situation because all of these awards are out there, and we are really fortunate in that the awards that we got, the proposals that we got was really, really good compared to what other.
I know we did 2 boilers and we lease financed them, and we did get grant money for them, and
I'm not saying we're not
you're saying
getting
it's a possibility.
possibility. I think it's a low probability, but I think you just need to know what the risk is, and the downside is that we could fund this entire project out of capital reserve, and we'll be okay.
Which we were just sliding to replace.
Well, that's what it is.
If you don't pass this resolution tonight, next week to lease purchase, but we
we do pass the resolution to award the bid for salt roof, and then wait until we're absolutely sure that when we pass this, we won't lose the 200,000 for the grant, can that be done?
There's no certainty. The issue here is very simple. If we award the contractor the bid,
Right.
and the grant documents have not been signed off on both sides, some districts are taking a position that they don't want to take that risk. Other districts, it's like 50-50. And this is based on what Lisa Gorb is telling me. If you have the capital reserve to do it, you should take the risk, because in all probability she expects us to get the money. She's not guaranteeing it, but if you don't have the money, you really have no choice. You have to kind of wait.
And those few weeks difference will make a difference.
Yes.
In the,
Yeah, we can't submit the grant documents without a document back from the DOE authorizing the lease purchase. And the roof needs to be done, and it needs to be started, as soon as kids are on school.
And the prices that we got back are very advantageous, and basically it'll be a wash.
Yeah, I know, that's
Go
what-
for
Thank God for that part, but
But
it's
there's a good possibility that it was loaded with grant money, so it's a roll of dice, but I think it's necessary because of the talent factor.
These bids are all on the basis of nature and scope of the job as recommended by the architect.
Yes. Yes.
Same material.
Same materials.
yeah, that's another question. 409 and 70.
No,
Big.
that
Well,
difference is
there was-
there, is the same warranty in there?
Everything is laid out in the bid specifications. And usually if you have one vendor who is so extremely different from everyone else, usually he missed the point in the bid specs. But we have two vendors, and one who has another time and materials bid with us on a regular basis, who bid at $425. So, and it's the same materials, and we had attorney review of the bid specs, everything is compliant. And then we have another one for $575, and then I'll give you the exact number, $675.
Did architect give us, like, option to choose any material, because there's going to be a different kind of material that they.
Everything is laid out in the bid specs prior to when the bid
Just
specs
one
are
kind
on.
of material, one,
In bid specs, you're allowed to do substitutions.
so is there a difference price for if we use a different material, which has like,
EDPM
More
is one
life.
material, and porch down is another material, there's a little touch different roofing materials. So it's the same, brings up a good point, is that apples to apples, because EDPM is a better roof, it's more resilient, it has a lot more longevity than just a regular porch down roof. So that's something which,
The architect is reviewing it, and in every case, the roof is guaranteed for 20 years. And in every bid spec, there's always an opportunity for a substitution to happen.
I just want to bring this point that every architect has their own preferences, if you will. They have like some kind of, the company they prefer to promote or whatever.
Doesn't work like that in schools. Doesn't work like that in schools.
It-
Does not work like that in schools.
I, they will try to push those things in there. I think so.
In schools, Chris can confirm what I'm saying. It does not happen in school districts, where an architect is pushing a particular contractor.
Not the contractor, I'm talking about the materials. And every material has different kind of application and different kind of cost of application involved in it. So it could go up to like 100,000 more if you want something better.
So if we get
He's just saying that, it's not gonna use something,
Inferior material.
Right, something else.
Well, that's the responsibility of
That might
the
be
architect,
the-
right? He's going to sign off on it, and he's going to be responsible. But I think that if you can, it's not going to be a good spec. So I can take a look at it.
I would like to-
brand or equal, right, Chris?
It has to be substantially compliant with all of the specs. If it's not the brand name, it has to, or the specific material, it has to be wholly equivalent to it. It can't be just Joe's Roofing Supplies. It's got to be
In other words, it
a
could be a
specific
generic,
level.
if there's done the same job.
There's different manufacturers that have
Yes.
different branding names of material. Like EDPM is very close to a rubberized roof, but it's more of a brand name, so as long as it meets the same specifications and longevity and warranty requirements, then it'll be an adequate substitute. So that's something which, that's the architect's decision, so that's why I just want to see the bid spec to see what they're proposing, so that I know it's generic or if it's a substitute based on brand name.
And from the legal/paranoid point of view, what Joe's saying is a really important point. If you have one bid that's substantially lower than all the others, something's probably wrong. But when you have two bids that are very close to each other and low, then you balance them off each other, and you don't have the red herring concern that you would have otherwise. So you just got good numbers in this case.
How many people responded to the RFP?
We had, it's part of supplies and equipment, we had 5 submissions. 409, 425,000, 563,000, 590,000, and 677,000. So it's like across the board. And that is not unusual. It's not unusual. But like I Chris said, if we had one that was 409 and everything else was 600, usually there's something wrong. They missed something. They totally missed the boat with the bid spec. So it's the responsibility of the architect to make sure that whoever submits the proposal is complying with what the bid specs say.
How many square feet is that we're going to say? That's also.
I got to give you the bid specs. Okay, so you're not voting on that tonight. That's up for the next agenda.
Anyone else? Non-certificated personnel office. I'm not quite sure what the question was about. So 11 is not one-time,
They should be permanent.
both of them?
Just 11.
11.
8 will be once
Correct.
she's put in her papers.
Has,
When does that become effective? She put a retirement date. This is until
Just till June 30th.
June 30th.
And then you reassign them, I guess, if
so we're approving the appointment of a particular person as long-term sub, but you're telling me now it's permanent?
It will be.
She passed away.
It won't become
It's
permanent
two
until after.
assignments. This assignment, the long-term sub covers the balance of the 13-14 school year. Then you're going to have to do an assignment.
She
14,
became ill.
permanent.
She had to leave the position. We haven't anyone yet, so we fill the position, especially in graduation. And then after that, she's retired. She can't get back to the position.
I think it should say for the 13-14 school year.
Is that 8 or is that 11?
Could say
Well-
through June.
Yeah, you could put an end date.
Just put in, approved for
Usually it does.
Right, so usually,
Yeah, put an end date on it.
isn't there an amount and an account number when you're hiring someone?
Secretary office. Secretary clerk. Never seen that.
It will be reflected on the.
And number 11 too, shouldn't that have it?
That'll be a permanent one. 11 will be a permanent one.
So this motion would be for the 13-14 school year, correct? And then it would have a salary and a
Non-certificated personnel operational. Now, these are all, most of these are acknowledgements, so they're already checked out. And the same for 14 and 15. They're acknowledging.
They have those gentlemen have a
We
3-year
have a
contract.
multi-year contract at this point for both of them. Okay.
what contracts are up this year? At the end of the year.